Keys or so last season. Welcome to Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. So how have I done it? Well, that's the contents of this box, so let's go check that out. Alrighty, let's unbox this thing. This is a Motogadget mlock. So we get a little booklet. Obviously gives us instructions and a wiring diagram. We have the RFID reader itself. Now these are just like you often see on security doors and turnstiles and things. We've got them at work. And having said that, you could probably buy an RFID reader out of China pretty cheap. But these are fully sealed and waterproof, and you know that they're going to be backed up by mlock or your retailer. We have a hopefully good quality 40 amp relay, and we also have a range of fittings. That's a fuse holder and a fuse for the power supply to the mlock unit itself. Some non-insulated terminals and silicon bits and pieces. Keys. This is the master key, and this is used to teach the unit to accept your individual keys, and I think it'll store up to 3 keys. So we'll go through that when we set it up. This is the fob key. Now this one is a little stronger. It needs to be within about 50 millimeters, 30 to 50 millimeters of the reader to function. So it's a good strong key. The only problem is that pulling that in and out of your pocket with gloves on, could be a bit of a pain in the neck. So I've gone and spent a little bit of extra money. And I've got this guy, this little glass vial, and you can sew that into just pop it in your glove and put a stitch in there to keep it in there, and just use off your glove. Now it does need to be a little closer to the unit. It's got to be 5 to 10 millimeters to switch it. And that's it. So let's go and have a think about where we can put this on the bike, and then we'll rig it up. So, but essentially, what we're doing here is we're eliminating the ignition switch, and the reason I'm doing that is that the aftermarket switches that I've been using, particularly the last one I've had, has been fine in terms of being able to hold the load. But the problem is that they're really designed for dashboards in cars with roofs that don't get wet, and that's been my problem. This is, sealed and waterproof, so they don't like water, and I'm just going to get rid of it altogether. Rightio, so this is what we want to remove. So it makes sense now to go ahead and pull this ignition system out, because we're going to be bypassing it. Alright, so what we have here is power into the switch, power out of the switch, and also for the park lights. So we need to, this has got the piggyback power off it for the hot wire for the GPS location. So I'm going to unsnip that, and we'll need to plumb a new power feed straight from the battery into that. And then we're going to tie all of these wires together. Now I have of course disconnected the battery, so we don't have power issues. So one of these 2 wires is the power feed from the battery. The other one is obviously going up to the GPS, the hot wire for the GPS. The 2 blue ones are park lights, and the brown one and the other blue one. The brown one goes back to the fuse box to power the fuse box. We just need to tie all of them together. Let's get cutting. Now I'm presuming that the heavy wire is the one from the battery, but I need to check. Yep. And this one is not. Right, so that's the power feed up to the for the GPS. So I need to strip all these back. I'm going to solder all those together. But for now, I'm just going to leave it there so that we can prove the concept. But I've stripped the conduit back now to expose this wire. This is the one that we're interested in. We've got a few things going on here. Like I said, this is the one that we're interested in. So there's already a joint here, a soldered joint. So I might as well separate it. Work out where we're going to mount our relay. Given them, I think that, like ideally right here, but that's not going to work so well. I may not be able to. I might have to extend this lead. All right, after a bit of stuffing around, I've decided I'm going to put it over here. There's not much happening on that side of the seat anyway, and I can route this wire back through around and straight into into here, and then extend this one if I have to. I've had to dig through my bits and pieces, and I've found this leftover bit of wiring from the unit. So if we put that onto terminal number 30, like so, that can go back to the fuse box, and then I'll come straight out of here up to the junction, and I think that'll be fine. Okay, so we've now mounted the relay. I've run that short bit of wire I found, which is the correct amperage, back to from the fuse box. So it'll go on to terminal number 30, and then this one I'll shorten up, and we'll plug him straight onto the other terminal, and then the mlock will switch the relay. So we need to dig into the tools that they gave us with the mlock, and that wire doesn't really need to be any shorter, so I'll just leave it at that. But what I do want to do is incorporate a power feed up to the hot wire for the GPS. So I have routed a wire up to the headlight, and this is it here, so it needs to be tied into that one. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so that's the fused one from the battery, at 30 amps. I'll tidy that up shortly. So now all we got to do is take this wire here basically and plug it onto there, and that would work, but this is the dog's breakfast, so we'll tidy that up. I'll shorten that wire, it doesn't need to be that long, and then the M unit will switch that. So let's, I should have come out of here for the M unit too. That's right, I can take the M unit all the way back to the battery. Okay, so I've made the decision to mount it underneath the frame just here. So I just need to make sure that it's in far enough. There's two little M3 threads that it bolts to, and of course the cable has to route up through here. So what I need to do is do some marking out, and the first thing that we're going to need to do is drill the hole for the cable. Alright, so this is a 25mm chassis tube, so I'm just going to make sure that whatever we do here, we're back inside that chassis tube, and that should be right there. And I need to come in, I'll just mark that there. And we need to come in $14mm from the edge. So the hole for our cable needs to be there. Now the hole, the two 3mm holes are 6mm off that centre line. There. And they're 12mm apart. We need to go 6mm either side of that. We're going to open up, place a grommet in there. So just pop this grommet in. Alright, so we've routed the switching wire to the relay, we've routed a wire to earth, reconnected the battery. So now we need to train the mlock. It's got a light on the back of it apparently, so if you wipe that across you'll see it click. Then you swipe the key and the other key, and then the teaching key again. And that's it, it's ready to go. So if we hover our power on, power off. Awesome. Let's mount that up there. Let's put a little bit of blue Loctite on that. So a little bit of blue Loctite on both of those. So that all needs tidying up. There's our installation. And here it is up under the bike. Let's prove it works. There we go. Off. So that's the mlock installed. I'll just go and tidy all this up now. I've also soldered this together, so now I'm going to put some shrink wrap over that and tape it all up. That'll all get tucked up inside the headlight, and I will wire that that hot wire up for the GPS. Okay, so that was the mlock installation. Pretty simple, really. So essentially, we've got a radio frequency reader that you can teach to operate your keys, and it will only work on your keys. You don't ever want to lose that master key. You can buy spare user keys, operating keys, the fob and the little glass vial for the glove, but you don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose that master key. You'll have to buy a whole new unit, I believe. And now I picked mine up from Mostens, from Raf. In Australia, he has probably the best price. You can buy it online, go to Mostens and have a look. I found it was pretty easy. All we had to do, obviously, was splice into that main power feed to where the ignition switch was, tie everything together at where the ignition switch was, and set up the switch. I think it's pretty cool, but you know, you can make up your own mind. If you want a hidden ignition, get that horrible switch out of the way, then this is the way to go. And also, as I said, I had issues with the keyed switches that I was buying. Right, well, that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and we'll be back for more with Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Bye for now.